Hi, welcome back. This is Clint. In this video, we're going to play Folded Wishes. Alright, so here we are at the table. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be playing Folded Wishes, but we're going to be playing the solo puzzle of the Folded Wishes. It's going to be the same for the players with some minor adjustments. So if you don't know how to play Folded Wishes, I will suggest that you start with the base game first, or the original rules first, playing with another person, or at least learning the main rules before trying out the solo variant, because it's basically the same as the normal rule with some adjustments, and I'm going to walk you through that now. So the main story of the Folded Wishes puzzle is that your spirit partner is stuck on the other side of the plane. You need to find each other and avoid evil animal spirits out there, which are the frogs, and this is you and your spirit partner. You win when you bring two animal spirit tokens in one space together without frog. But you lose if both of your spirit tokens are captured by these evil frogs. Then you have the boat. Boat is just a neutral token there that will be useful when you use this action, the mountain fold. Alright, so let's go to the setup. So you will have two swan tokens, 4 frog tokens, and 1 boat token. What you're gonna do, you're gonna take all the tiles, shuffle it up, and you have your starting tiles here. In the main game, in the basic rules, you're supposed to only have 1, but in the solo puzzle, you start with 3. Now we have 4 here. We will take randomly. Let's put one of these tiles into the pool. Let's randomize. I'm not looking. I'm going to take this yellow tile. We will add it to the pool later on to be randomized. Okay, so now we are shuffling here. Now we're going to set the grid. Okay, now to set up the board is quite different from the normal setup of 4x4 or 5x5. You will have 3 rows with 5 columns, and then you will have 3 and 3 at the top and the bottom. So let me show you. Let me set up this one. Okay, so here we have 5x3, and then we will add 1, 2, 3 at the top. You cannot see it. So we have 3 at the top, and then 3 here at the bottom. Okay, so that is your solo puzzle setup. Now that is set up, let's straighten it out for the screen. Okay, after you set up the grid, you will place the tokens. In the middle, you will place the boat. In the 2 corners, you will place your swan, upper left and upper right. Then, in the far corner, far edge, the right edge and the left edge of the grid, you will place the 2 frogs on the lower right and 2 frogs on the upper middle left. Now we have our map. What are the changes from the base game? So let's keep this to our side for reference. Let's place our tiles here that we can play. Our objective, I already mentioned earlier, you need to have your 2 swans in the same space, any space, as long as they're both in that space, without a frog. Okay, if there's a frog, you cannot trigger the end game. If you have frogs on both of your swan, you lose the game. Okay, so you don't want that to happen. Okay, so on your turn, you choose from these 3 tiles what you want to play, following the normal rule of Folded Wishes. You place a tile anywhere. Well, in the base game, you will have animals to be placed on the board. This time, you don't have that. You only have these 2 already on the board. You choose a side where you want to place your grid or your tile, and then you perform the fold action, which is the upper left. After you perform that, you push, and then you take. Okay. Corner fold, crumple, mountain fold, switch pattern, swap shapes are the same except for the following. Crumple, which is the color pink here. Normally, we would move another animal in any direction. In this game, you can only move 1 frog, and the other crumple is applicable only to the boat. So when you play this crumple, this pink tile, you move 1 frog and you move the boat. The fold effects or fold actions also affect the movement of the enemies. So let's go to the enemy turn. So after the player makes his turn, it's now the enemy's turn. On the enemy's turn, you move one frog nearest to swan. So since here they're all the same, you can choose which frog you want to move. But let's say you are here. These two frogs are nearest to this swan. So these two are your only options to move. The good thing here is you only move one frog one step towards the nearest swan. So on their turn, this will move towards one space to that swan. However, if you have played a mountain fold, which is this yellow tile, and you did that effect, you will move the frog twice. So if you are here and you play the mountain fold, this frog will move twice and that swan is captured. Okay, so watch out for that. The next one is if you play the swap tile, which is the switch patterns, you will move two different frogs twice to their nearest swan. So let's say this one is here, this one is there. If you played the switch pattern, this one will move to this swan, this frog will move to that swan, and game over. You have to think your move and the effects on the frog. So those are the effects of your fold action to the enemy's turn, and that's also the enemy's turn. Very simple AI here. And then after that, after your turn, after the enemy's turn, you check if you have won or if you lost the game, following what I said earlier about winning and losing. And that's it. Now, this game has multiple difficulties. It has easy, normal, and hard, and nightmare. Okay, so that is how you play Folded Wishes solo. Okay, now we are going to play Folded Wishes solo puzzle. It has multiple difficulties. We have easy, medium, hard, and nightmare. Today we are going to play normal. If we finish this early, we're going to play hard. And then if we defeat that, we're going to play nightmare, assuming it's going to be a fast game. Right, so let's begin. I also prepared multiple screens here. We have a little bit closer shot on the grid, and then we have here close-up shot of the tiles in my hand. Okay, but this one will be the most common shot that we are going to be using, because this will show the grid and the ones that I have. So yeah, let's begin. Let's see if this will work. I'm going to use swap shapes. I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to swap with this one. They're close to one another, but this is a very risky move. And then let's push. Okay, now that the frogs are out of the grid, I have to move them in any adjacent space. I'm going to put them here together. Now I'll take this token. Right, now the problem here is that the frogs are going to move twice. Two of them is going to move twice. So let's see which one moves. These two frogs are 3 spaces away. 3 spaces away here and there. So let's see. It's my choice. One of the frog there moves 2 spaces, and the other frog, well, I can move that frog again towards this one, or I can move this towards the other one. If we move this one towards the other one, we're basically trapping ourselves, which is probably what the enemy would want, because they're capturing 2 swans. If we're going to play for our benefit, I'm going to move this towards this one. But let's make it hard for ourselves. I know this is already hard, but yeah, let's go with the move that the enemy would probably take. So now I'm let's say I'm a bit trapped, but let's find a way to get these 2 swans together. Now that's the end of the enemy's turn. Well, let's do our second turn. This is what I have right now. I have a swap shape, move my own token, and we have move enemy and the boat. Okay, I think I'm going to move this one. I'm going to use this one. Let's see if this will work. No, let me see. So I'm going to put it here to push towards that direction. It says here I can move one of the frogs and the boat. So I'm going to move this frog away. and the boat maybe a little bit closer to us. And oh no, that's a mistake, because here's what's going to happen. Well, my original plan was to when this tile is pushed, I'm going to go to my swan here, but I didn't think that the frog will move as well. So you can see here, now it's moving. Right, if I move my swan here in this space, they are together, this frog will capture both of them and we're game over. So I didn't think of that. That was a mistake on my part. The best we can do is to save one of the swan from this mistake. So I'm going to move one of the swans there, and I will take this tile. I now have a mountain fold, which is a powerful tile. Now, for the enemy movement, I use crumple, so their movement will be normal, which is one nearest frog towards their nearest swan. So this frog is near this swan and this one, so I can choose where this frog will go. I will choose this frog just for the same reason that it's easier to save that swan, because when we move this tile and it gets off the grid, I can then separate them. Okay, so that is their turn. This is our third turn. Let's think. But now that one of my swans are captured, I have to move away, or I have to save this swan from this frog. I'm going to use this one that allows me to move one of my swan. I'm going to put it here. I hope I'm not making a mistake again. I'm going to move this one towards that. I'm going to move push. Alright, again they are off the grid. I have to put them somewhere. I'm going to put this here, and going to put other frog here. Now I only use a regular action, so the frogs will do a regular action as well. One of the nearest frog nearest to us one will move towards that one. I can choose between this one or that one. Which one do I want to incapacitate? Okay, so let's see. I don't know if this is a smart move. I hope it is. Okay, now it's our turn. Just to let you know, I think I'm doing really bad. This is what I have right now. Two of the tiles that I have are special tiles that will make the frogs move twice, and I don't want that to happen now. So I'm probably going to use this one. Okay, you might think I'm doing these random placements. You're right. I'm going to place it here because I want to push this out to separate them. If I do that, well, I can move the frogs first and then the swan second. I want to do it like this. So the frogs, well, I can move the boat first. Doesn't matter which one goes first, but I'm placing it here, and I'm moving the frog. This one I wanted to get away, and I'm pushing it. Oh wait, the boat. Well, if I push this down, I will move the swan towards. I'm gonna move the frog here and the swan here, so that we have a space in between. Then I'm going to move the boat here, so maybe I can do a jump later on. Alright, so let's move that. Okay, now it's in the grid. I forgot again. I didn't think. Now the boat is here. I didn't think about that. I always forget that the grid will move. So I was planning for the boat to be here so that I can jump using my mountain fold. But as in the rules, it's in the rules that once you lift your hand from the tile, or any pieces of the game, that's final, meaning it's like a touch move on chess. Yeah, I'm going to move one of the frog there and my swan here, and I will take this. Now I have three. I have pink, green, and the mountain fold. Swap tile, mountain fold, and this one. It's the frog's turn. The nearest frog. This one is 2 spaces away from that. Everyone, okay? All the frogs, I can choose which one to move towards the nearest one. I can move this towards this. Maybe that's the best. I can move him towards that space. That's still valid because he's 2 spaces away, 2 spaces away, 2 spaces away from that. So yeah, I choose this. Let's see if that's I don't know if I'm doing smart moves here or just randomly. So let's see our next turn. Let me think. Right, our turn. I really need a blue one. I don't want to get more complicated tiles like these two because it affects the frog's movement, and we don't want that to happen. No, we don't. But this opportunity we have right now, we have the swan here. Let me zoom on the board. So we have a swan here. We have a frog here. If I use the mountain fold, the frog will move twice. But since it's adjacent to my swan, it will just move once. So that, I guess that's good. At least we can have 2 of our swans together, or I mean close to one another. And then that's the time we can go ahead and plan. So let's do that. Let's do just that. I'm going to do this with the mountain fold here. I'm going to mountain fold and go there. Now this one will push. Okay, now I have the blue that I wanted. I get that added to my hand, and then it's the frog's turn. On the frog's turn, choose one frog, move them twice. So I'm going to choose this because that's the nearest to this one. I'm going to choose and move him twice, but since he's already with the swan, he stops his movement. Alright, so I guess that's one step closer to bringing them together, but I'm not sure. Alright, next turn. Okay, I didn't take too long to think because I think I got this. I think I'm going to win. So I have this. Crumple. I can move one frog and then the boat. See, I'm going to put it here. Right? So I'm going to do the crumple. I'm going to move this frog 1 space away. And then I'm going to move the boat. Doesn't matter where. I'm going to move it there. I'm going to push the tile inside. There we go. Now this one is outside the grid. I'm going to put him next to my other swan, and they're together. Now I got this tile to my hand. It doesn't matter because on the frog's turn they will only move once because I only played crumple, which is a standard tile. It will move once towards the swan, and at the end of my turn, I win. So there we go. I didn't really think I'm going to get that in this round, but yeah, just the stars aligned. I won. So that is the normal difficulty. That took us around maybe 10 minutes. Let's go and play the hard difficulty. Okay, now this is set up. This is the hard difficulty. The only change is that the frogs now, we have 1 on each corner, and then we have 1 in the middle, which means it's going to be closer to us when we make our every move. So that's the hard difficulty. Let's begin. Our starting tiles are the green, mountain fold, which is the yellow, and then the crumple. The one in the board or in the grid is the blue one, which allows us to move our token, and we don't have that at the moment. Okay, first turn. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I'm going to use this one, the pink one, crumple. I'm going to put it here to push down this frog out of the grid and put him here, so he's far away from this one. And since I can move 2, I can move the boat and a frog. I will move the boat here, and the frog maybe here, just far away from this one, because that's where we are trying to go. Okay, so let's do the movement first. The boat will be, oh wait, what are we going to get? We're going to get a mountain fold, so let's make use of it. I'm going to, okay, so I'm going to move the boat towards this one, this space, and the frog maybe here. Let's push down. This one is out of the grid. Let's put him here. We take that. It's the frog's turn. These two are near this one, so I can choose which one I want to move. I think I want to move this. Yeah, because I'm going to jump here later on with the mountain fold. I'm going to jump, and I'm sure this one is gonna catch up to us because it's going to move twice, right? So 1, 2. This one is going to catch us no matter what we do. Yeah, I moved that there. That's their turn. Let's do our second turn. I can even, maybe I can swap tiles. Let me think if that will work, because they will move twice, right? Let me see if 2 frogs move twice. This one will move 1, 2 here, 1, 2, 1, 2. So they cannot catch us if we swap tiles, but they will definitely catch us later on because they will be near. Let me think. Okay, let's just stick to the original plan. Mountain fold. Going to mountain fold here towards that space, and let's get it closer to our swan. Going to place it here. Mountain fold, baby. Boom. Right, we are here. Let's push. I hate it when the grid gets broken like that. Okay, we have to place this one closer. Alright, it's one more step. Since we did since we did a mountain fold, we have to move 1 frog twice towards the nearest one. So this one is not valid because it will take 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This one is 2 spaces away from that, so this is the target swan. These 2 frogs are the frogs that we can choose to move. Which frog should I move? What do you think? Okay, I think I want to move this frog since it's already in the same row. 1, 2. Having a frog on the same row or same column is risky because if you move the column or the row, they will move with you. And sometimes you want them to move the opposite direction. So yeah. So since this is already in the same column, this frog, I put him in the same space as the swan. Now it's our turn again. Let me see. I think we're going to win this time. Yeah. I think we are. Alright. So I'm going to place this again. This is the MVP tile. I can move 1 frog away and the boat. But the boat doesn't matter. I'm going to move him here. I'm going to place at the bottom of the column. I'm going to move this frog 1 space away. And then I'm going to push this column up. Our swan will be in the same tile as the other swan, his or her spirit partner. So they're on the same tile now. It is the frog's turn, and the frog's turn will be a normal movement because we only used the crumple, and it's going to be move 1 space. And at the end of our turn, these 2 swans are in the same tile. We won. We just beat the hard difficulty. I don't know, it took us maybe about 8 minutes, but of course I didn't include my thinking, so about maybe 10-12 minutes there. Alright, off we go to the nightmare difficulty. Okay, now this is the nightmare difficulty setup. What changed here is that we have now 2 frogs in the middle, in the center of the grid, and we have the boat as well. It's the same except for these 2 frogs. and we started with 1, 3, and 2 tiles, the yellow, pink, and the blue. The green tile is part of the grid. That is the swap shapes. I don't think I want to use that because it allows the frogs to move 2 spaces and 2 frogs. So it's not for this level. It's nightmare difficulty, and I don't think that would be helpful to us. So let's begin. What we want to do right now is, of course, to move. Here's what I have. Okay, I don't have a strategy right now, but I think having the frogs in one space, or like in a tight space, compressed together, I think that would make things easier for us. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to move this tile in the middle, this row in the middle towards that. But first I have to move a frog. So I'm going to use this frog to move, and the boat will be here or here. The boat will be here, and let's push that in. Now we have swap shapes added to our hand. Now it's the enemy's turn. The enemy, well, they are closer to this one at the top here, so I can move either one of these 3 frogs towards that one. I will choose this frog to go up there. Well, the direction doesn't matter. It's up to you. You just try to close the gap between the frog and the swan. So I will choose this space. So if I ever use the mountain fold I have here, if I use that one, I can use it to jump here, or yeah. So whatever, that's good for us. Our swan is still free, so that's good. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. I think this is going to be interesting. Is it? No, it's going to catch. No, it's not going to catch our swan. I'm thinking of swapping the tile. I'm thinking of taking it easy by playing this one, or I'm gonna jump ahead using the mountain fold. This one, no chance. Alright, maybe if I jump here, this one will catch up. And what's the next move? We need the pink. I really need the pink. That's the most useful. What if we push it up so they cannot follow? I'm going to do the jump, but in the process I'm gonna push this up. So I'm going to do a jump here. No turning back now. I left the piece there. Now let's move the tile, the grid column, push it up. Well, at least now we have a pink, right? We have the crumple. Now we have a crumple. Next is the enemy movement. I did a jump, so 1 frog will move twice. The nearest. Let me see. Yeah, okay. So in the rules it says nearest frog. So even though it can move 2 spaces, I cannot move this one because it's not near. It's not the nearest frog. So the nearest frog to this one is these 2 and this one up here. The nearest frog to this one is these 2 only. So these 2, right? I think that's the one I should have pushed away. Okay, one of them can move twice, and I think I don't want to split these 2 frogs. So I'm going to move this 1 frog. Let's move that. One of our swan was captured. Let's see if we can do something about this. Okay, it's our turn. I have 3 options here. I can move my swan, I can move a frog and the boat, or I can swap tiles. So let's check the board, the grid. Let's see the status of the grid. Our swans are 2 spaces away from one another. If I push it down here, this one will be here. It will just breach the gap. If I swap tile, it's not really a good use for us to swap tile. I don't really see the sense of it. But I can put it on the map without using the effect. But I don't think that is good. Every turn counts here, because the frogs will keep pushing towards you. Okay, you know what? Let's just breach the gap. Let's move this frog away. Let's move this frog away using the crumple. Let's move it here. The boat, let's see, maybe the boat will be useful to us later. I'm going to move the boat in the middle of the grid, and then let's push the column down. This one is out of the grid. Let's put her back. Now it's the frog's turn to move one space only towards our swan. The closest, this is one space away, 2 spaces away. 1, 2, 1, 2. So I can move these 3 towards this. Which one though? Yeah, I think we're going to win already. So let's put that frog in the middle, the center. For our next turn, I have this. Allows us to move our swan 1 space. So I'm going to put it here, and then move our swan towards this other swan. Push this center, this middle row, and get this. Doesn't matter, because on the frog's turn, it's going to move 1 space towards us. It's going to move here, and once again, we beat the game. Nightmare difficulty, yes. Alright, so let's talk about Folded Wishes solo mode puzzle. It's a fun puzzle. It's like a brain training. You're training your brain to recognize patterns and anticipate movements and future events, and be able to plan with that knowledge and considering the ever-changing grid or ever-changing board into your plan, which is very good. I really like that aspect. When everything falls together, all the pieces of the puzzles, when the stars align and you achieve your objective, it's very rewarding, because you know in yourself, in your mind, that you are responsible for your victory. Every move here, everything, every tile that you get, every movement of your tokens depends on your decision. So it's very, very rewarding puzzle game. I think we need to adjust. We need to have another difficulty aside from Nightmare, beyond Nightmare. Maybe we can have, I don't know, maybe Ron can come up with that. But yeah, I really like the experience. Folded Wishes. You should try it out too. Comparing the experience to the competitive game, it's a bit far. In a sense that in a competitive game, you are trying to connect four of your swan. It's a very different objective. The same rule may apply, like the same core rules that you put, push, and get. It's the same as in the multiplayer, but here in solo, you have AI that moves on their own, but it does not replicate the movement of another enemy. And having Folded Wishes competitive and the solo puzzle feels like having 2 different games. This game I can play as many times as I want, but still when it comes to competitive, it's going to be a different environment, different feel. And yeah, that's what I think of Folded Wishes. You love competitive games, pagalingan, you want to be the best on the table, play Folded Wishes. You will get that satisfaction when you win. And also, if you are a solo gamer, you want brain puzzles, brain training, you can also get this one. It's like 2 games in 1 box. Alright, so this has been the playthrough of the Folded Wishes solo puzzle. I hope you enjoyed that. This is the Board Game Hero. Thank you for watching. See you again next time.